SLAPAFISH community, and welcome back to another World Tanks console video. So in this video, I'm going to be comparing the Waffen-träger E100 for both guns, the 12.8cm and the 15cm, to the Foch 155. With both guns, the Foch with the 120, which is this one, and the 155. So this is the Foch 155mm gun, Foch 120mm gun. This is the Waffen-träger E100 15cm gun, and this is the Waffen-träger E100 12.8cm gun. So, as you all know, these are all tier 10s. I did have a poll about what tank I should compare the Waffen-träger E100 to, and a lot of people said the Foch B, which is the Foch 120mm gun. There was a lot of people that said they wanted it, and also a lot of people said they wanted the 155mm too. So I was like, you know what, over half of the people want both of these tanks, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just add it to the list. So anyway, as you can see, the Waffen-träger E100 has the highest horsepower to weight ratio, but it also weighs the highest. Apparently the smaller gun on the Waffen-träger E100 actually weighs more than the bigger gun on the Waffen-träger. It's weird, but I guess that's how life goes. Forward speed is better on the Foch. Reverse speed is better on the Waffen-träger E100. All tanks have 15% fire chance and track rotation at 30 degrees. And the Waffen-träger E100 has the best terrain resistance, and the turret speed for the Foch 150. Both Foches have the better turret speed. Even though they have the turret, that's probably just how fast they can turn their gun left to right. But the Waffen-träger E100 actually has a better turret because it actually has a turret, and the two Foches actually have like a small gun arc. Oh, I just lost place. Okay, like I said, the 12.8cm, 15cm, 120mm, and the 155. The longest reload here is the Waffen-träger E100 at 1 minute, and the Foch 120, just gonna call it Foch B, at 38 seconds. Aim time is best on the Waffen-träger E100. Accuracy is the best, and moving the tank. Dispersion while moving the tank is the best on the Waffen-träger with the 12.8cm. And it's also the best with the 15cm while rotating the turret. And see, gun elevation is better on the two Foches at 18 degrees, and gun depression is better at 6 degrees. And the Foch 155mm actually has the highest damage upon anything, and best penetration. The Waffen-träger 15cm actually has the worst penetration in this standard penetration. Now the highest explosive penetration on the Foch 155 and the Waffen-träger E100 with the 15cm is actually the best. Wait, have I been going? Okay. The high explosive, so you can just load high explosive, and these two guns are really, really nice. And yes, I will be having a gameplay on the 12.8cm and the 15cm. There'll be timestamps if you haven't seen them already. Highest splash is on the Foch 155's 155mm gun. Highest shell velocity is on the Waffen-träger E100. And look at it. This is just snapshot heaven right there. 1,500 shell velocity. That's just amazing. Especially in the high explosive. This is just amazing. None of these tanks compare, except for the Foch B premium rounds. That comes on par with the high explosive and standard penetration. Shell velocity. Highest DPM here is the Waffen-träger with the 15cm, which is actually surprising because Waffen-träger E100 with the 12.8 is actually the most deadly. That's what it's known for, because it has 6 shots, and it also has a damage per clip at 3,360. That means both of these Waffen-trägers can take out any tank in the game from full health, including the mouse. The 15cm is going to have a hard time doing it because of RNG and stuff like that. But the 12.8 has a higher chance of doing it because it has more leverage rim, more damage in its clip. Enter clip reload is 2 seconds on the Waffen-träger E100 12.8 and the Fox B. Turn armor on the Waffen-träger is nothing, 20 at the front, 10 at the side, and 0 at the back. Tier 1's continue your turret, so also you gotta watch out because the turret's huge and a lot of people like to spam high explosive as your turret. But you have hull armor, 200 at the front, which is close to the Fox's 180 at the front, but your side and frontal armor, side and back armor just blows the Fox's out of the comparison. You actually have more back armor, or more rear armor than side armor. You all have 380 view range. Fox has the highest signal range at 750. Waffen-träger has the highest hit points at 2,200, which is really high up there. It's one of the most healthiest tanks in the game. It's also the most healthiest tank destroyer in the game. I'm pretty sure about that. If not, it would be the Jagdpanzer E100, but pretty sure the Jagdpanzer E100 has 2,000 hit points. Concealment on this tank is non-existent. There is nothing here. That's only 1% concealment right there. Look at that. Low. Fox actually has very good concealment compared to the Waffen-träger. And now, this right here actually tells you, how many, things. The green boxes tell you how many times that was the best in the comparison. The red actually tells you what was the worst in the comparison. So the Waffen-träger E100 with a 12.8cm actually had 16. That was hit points, armor, damage per clip, enter clip reload, DPM, shell velocity, aiming, accuracy, and moving the tank, and rotating the turret, terrain resistances, reverse speed, horsepower, and that was it. So that's enough with the stats. Now let's jump into some gameplay. Okay, so we're going to be driving on Helbron Standard Battle, and we're going to be driving the Waffen-träger E100 with the 12.8cm gun first. So this is the gun that a lot of people really like, and I really love this gun, but it also has a minute reload. And, I should actually tell you what equipment I actually have on this tank. I have a spall liner, camouflage net, and fuel tanks with CO2. So it gives me 50% of fuel tank durability. I know a lot of people don't use that, but I used it for this tank. It's like the only tank I use it for. And now I get to tell you my crew. So for the crew, I have Brothers in Arms, Mentor, Sixth Sense, Deadeye, Green Thumb, Firefighting, Adrenaline Rush, Camouflage, Snapshot, Repairs, Swimming Lessons, and Training Silent Drive. This is actually the same crew I had in the Panzer Knacker, what I did a tank review on yesterday. So now this tank is actually pretty fun with the 6-shot autoloader, the 12.8. And also when you see me aim, it's like no time. In no time, exactly when I stop moving, and there's a FV215B. And now this is what's actually dangerous about this tank. If you can actually catch somebody out in the open, and you can pin every single shot, you can take them out. Especially if they just sit there, or you just keep on tracking place, which you can do. You can just take out people. But we're already down to half hit points. You also got to remember you may have good hull armor, but majority of people know that you have a very, very weak turret, and they will shoot your turret instead of your hull. And your turret is giant. And also, people love to spam high explosive at this tank. I do. That's one of the best ways to take out this tank. So yeah, there's a light tank. The aim time. I can't get over the aim time about this tank. It is really, really good. I don't know. But it does suck having like a minute reload to load in 6 shots. But I guess like that's the balancing factor of this tank. Now this is actually removed on the PC variant of the game. We have the unnerfed version of the Waffen-träger E100 that came from the PC. So when the PC variant came out for the Waffen-träger E100, it had 6 shots. It's basically our Waffen-träger E100 right now. Then they nerfed it. They nerfed it twice. They nerfed its aim time, accuracy, and dispersion for the first time. And then the second time they hit it harder with dispersions, accuracy, aim time, and they removed one of the shells. So it went from a 6-shot autoloader to a 5-shot. So we have the unnerfed variant of the Waffen-träger E100. Now this is actually like an average game in the Waffen-träger E100 with the 12.8. This is the gun I really recommend that you put on this tank. There's a 430. You gotta get used to it because you gotta get really used to this tank because you have a giant turret and you have no concealment whatsoever, so you're always probably going to get spotted every single time, especially if you don't have a good crew on here. Having a good concealment crew on this tank really does help. You do notice it, but even actually having a really good concealment crew doesn't really help you out that much, but it does help. It helps. The camo net also does help too. I'm trying to get this shot on the 430. Also, what makes this tank weird is because it's a backwards turret. A lot of people don't like backwards turrets, and it's one of the rarest tanks in the game. It's like a backwards turret. And that T100 LT just killed itself. Well, dang. And there's a 705 Alpha. I should track them, and I get hit by artillery. Artillery is also another thing you gotta worry about in this tank because of your giant turret. Okay, so that was a victory on Helbron. And let's see what happens. We did 4,394 damage, 2,851 assists, and top of the leaderboards. Now it's time to go check out the other gun. Alright, so we ended up on Great Wall with the 15 centimeter. Now the 15 centimeter, there's actually 2 ways to play this gun. You can fire all AP, or you can fire the high explosive. Remember, you have really good high explosive pin. So, and you also do like 750 damage per shot. So you just spam high explosive, which is actually pretty fun. And you can just deal damage. I do recommend that. That's one of the. It's a fun way to play this gun. Out of the two guns, I recommend the other gun. But if you're going to play this gun, I recommend just using the high explosive. Also, I'm not going to show off the high explosive gun, like shooting just HE in this video, because I think that's pointless in a tank review. Because you don't know what high explosive does. Most people will fire AP rounds out of this tank because they're most reliable, and a lot of people just like standard rounds. So yeah, that will get the basis of this tank. Also, the penetration is not that good. It's 246 millimeters of penetration, which is really good at tier 8, but as soon as you get to tier 9, that's like standard penetration. At tier 10, it's like, oh, what the heck. There's a IS-7, put one shot into him, tracked him, and lit him on fire, and he's dead. Now, that was actually pretty lucky. And we have 2 shots left. And I'm thinking about reloading, but then I found this AMX-30 right here. I actually ricocheted off of him right there. And you can see where I ricocheted off on the right side of his gun mantling. I did put a shot into him, so he's down for like half health. When you actually hit and penetrate somebody with this gun, it hurts. They really feel the pain of this gun. So, now we're actually in a crossfire. There's a bat chat right there, which I really want to ram. Ramming in this tank is actually pretty fun. So, the reason I'm charging down this hill is to, like, go ram this guy. Then, I rethought my plan. I was like, wait a second. He's actually pulling back, and now I'm getting shot by everything. So, there goes most of my hit points. But we were able to secure the kill on the bat chat. And now I'm just scared of that A4 just popping up and like, hey, goodbye, you're dead. Because no armor. And look, there he comes. Put 1 shot into him. 2nd, and he misses his shot. And 3rd, he is dead. So yeah. Now, my plan is, as soon as I get reloaded, I want to help out the lower part of the flank. I want to go take out this tanks in like J1, H1. That's my plan. As soon as I get loaded, I have 97 hit points. But there is a heavy tank on E1 that is actually fighting my tank destroyer and the heavy tank. But I really want to take out those heavy tanks down there on the H1, J1. So even if I die, I want to try to risk it. If I can get over there and into cover, I'm going to destroy the E100. But the AMX M454 actually had a shot. I should have waited until he fired. If I waited until he fired, it would have worked. It would have worked. Alright, we got a victory on that map. Yeah. Made 41,000 silver, 4,658 damage, 896 assists, and we actually blocked the shot. And we got top of the leaderboards. Alright guys, if you liked this video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Also remember to SLAPAFISH because we're always not. And peace out. See ya.